Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be bringing back the Super Magical Challenge on my main Chief Pat account in Clash Royale, and it should be pretty fun, and let me tell you how it's going to go. Now, if you guys saw the video I did previously with Galadon, we both opened up Super Magical chests, and then whatever cards we got inside of it, we used inside of a deck. So let's go ahead and try that out today, taking the 7 cards from the Super Magical chest, putting them in my deck, as well as putting one more in there that I think might fit it. Now, opening up this chest, we're getting some gold, and of course, we're going to get some Elite Barbarians since they're not maxed out. So we need to have Elite Barbarians in our deck alongside some Fire Spirits, Arrows. Really not the best looking deck so far. I don't know what our win condition is. Rocket. All right, I guess we're going to have to rocket down some towers. 3 Musketeers is pretty good, but I don't want to split those up and the Elite Barbarians up. They really don't work that well together. And for the final 2 cards, we're going to get the Tornado as well as the Lumberjack. So this deck should serve to be pretty interesting, and I'm going to throw a Tombstone in as the 8th card and see if it works out. I'll try it in 3 straight battles, win or lose. We'll see how this deck works out. And it's safe to say this one's going to be crazy. Now, I might as well upgrade the Tornado. It's already at tournament standard. Doesn't really matter since we're playing inside of challenges anyways. But you can see this deck. What I'm going to have to do is split the 3 Musketeers and then use either the Elite Barbarians or the Lumberjack as like the tank for the 3 Musketeers. And then also make some positive elixir trades with all the spells that I have. And maybe I can rocket down the tower at the end. But let's hop into battle number 1 where we're going to be facing off against Molt is Delicious. Definitely an interesting name. And at least he's a fan of Molt. And starting off, we'll do a Tombstone, we'll do 3 Musketeers, and here's where it's going to have to get interesting. Now, he has a Mega Minion out, and since he has that Princess, I might as well arrow it down and try to get as much value as possible. It looks like we did clip the Mega Minion, which is really good. And with my 2 Musketeers helping out against that Giant, we actually should be able to survive this push pretty easily. And now we've got the Musketeers on his side of the map. So those Musketeers are doing work. Eventually, the Zap spell will pop off and take out the Skeletons as well as stun the Musketeer. But the Musketeer actually takes the tower all the way down to 1302. I'm even going to Tornado spell on this other side. And as the Lumberjack pops, my Musketeer is basically already dead. But our very first push of the game was already pretty successful. Now, I don't think that's going to work out too often. I feel like we're going to have to get our Elite Barbarians or Lumberjack to the tower if we're going to want to win. But still, that tower is already decently low. We have the Rocket if we need to finish off some towers, which is going to be really nice. But let's go and see what our opponent does as we'll set back up with a Tombstone against his Giant on offense. Alright, so Ice Spirit will be killed by the Skeleton, which is really nice, and then Mega Minions going down. I've got 3 Musketeers waiting, and instead of playing a Rocket on his combo, I might as well save up for the 3 Musketeers. So let's do that right now since he hasn't shown that he has a counter to it just yet. And it looks like all the Musketeers are going to do work. 2 are going to go to the left, 1 is going to go to the right, and maybe we can use our Lumberjack in front of one of them and to be able to knock some stuff out. All right, Lumberjack is down with the Musketeer. 2 Musketeers on the left, 1 on the right. Look at the Lumberjack racing all the way to the tower. That tower is basically dead right there, and as the Inferno Dragon goes down, it's going to take out my Musketeer instead of the Lumberjack, which worked out decently for him, but that's going to be the very first tower of the game, and there's only a minute left in battle for him to bring it back. Now, I'm not even going to worry about the Inferno Dragon. I'm going to Tornado the Princess and the Mega Minion to my side of the map, and then use the Fire Spirits to clean them up. That was some decent Tornado usage right there, and now with 55 seconds, let's see if we can get some Elite Barbarians going and to see if we're able to do some work with them. Now, again, I do want to split the 3 Musketeers before I use the Elite Barbarians. In fact, 3 Musketeers are going to be on one side of the map as I arrow down his Princess, and there's the Lightning Spell. He did have a Lightning Spell this entire time. He just didn't have a great place to play it. And as his Giant dies to my Tombstone right there, we can finally get ready to play the Elite Barbarians. And let's go and do that with a Lumberjack in the front, so when the Lumberjack dies, we're going to get that extra rage boost. All right, Mega Minion doing work, Fire Spirit's doing work, everything's going crazy right here as the Lumberjack and the Elite Barbarians kill the Princess. I've got the Musketeer raged onto his Crown Tower right now. That tower's dropping so low, all the way to 738. I'll just use another Tombstone. I've got the Elite Barbarians for the Giant, and that is going to wrap up our first battle using this deck. A win on the very first time using this crazy Elite Barbarian, nastiness, super magical, whatever deck. And I will take a win any way I can get it. And Molt is Delicious. I'm sorry it had to end this way. Now, 1-0, very nicely done, but let's get into battle number 2 and see if we can keep the streak going using this just ridiculous deck. And playing against Lord Pereira Jr., let's see if we're going to be able to knock him out. Now, starting, I almost never want to split the Elite Barbarians to start. I just feel like it's Not a great card to split in the very beginning, just because it's so easily counterable, because it just doesn't have a fast enough attack speed. The way it runs too quickly, I just don't like it to split in the very beginning. So instead, splitting the 3 Musketeers, let's see if we can do work by bringing them apart and knocking out his giant. Now, he did fireball my Musketeers, and if I had my Elite Barbarians ready, I'd use them in front of there. Instead, I'm going to use the Fire Spirits to see if we can do anything down that right-hand lane. There goes the Zap spell, as I thought it would come out. Meanwhile, down the left-hand lane, Lumberjack plus the Musketeer is going to cut down the giant, and the Lumberjack's actually going to give my Musketeer a little bit of rage, to where we're going to take out those archers, we'll start taking out these skeletons, and overall, this match is going to be fairly square. Now, since he has the giant, that means I can use the Elite Barbarians as a counter, but seeing as I have 3 spell cards in my hand right now, I'm sort of forced to play the Elite Barbarians and split them, and that's what we're going to do right now. Now, obviously, the Elite Barbarian's not very good against Tombstone, and so we're going to have to deal with that when we get there, but there they go, charging down the lane. Actually, one Elite he's going to play a skeleton army, so even worse for us. I'll use the Tornado to suck in some of the skeletons and let my Elite Barbarian start beating down on that giant. But all in all, maybe not the best play, and now he's got such a crazy push coming to our side of the map. Check out the rocket, though. This is where we can use the rocket. Let's use it defensively. And Orange Juice out there screaming about that positive elixir trade. We're going to kill the Mega Minion, the archers, and the giant. A 6 for 11 trade right there. Very nicely done. And we can reset for the rest of the battle. And all in all, we might have just saved our tower by not messing up that rocket. Now, doubling down on the tombstone's not going to do too much for him. That means those skeletons are just going to cross the map and die slowly but surely. We can go ahead and set up for another 3 Musketeer push if we want to, but we're sort of scared about the Fireball. The Fireball has been taking us out, so why not go for the Lumberjack plus those Elite Barbarians to see if we can reach the tower. There they go right there. In fact, I'm going to follow up with some Fire Spirits to see if they can help out. And as the Rage spell drops, take a look at those Elite Barbarians run towards the tower. They're going to sprint to that tower and take it pretty decently low. He says, you know what, I'm going to the other side of the map as the Elite Barbarian beats down on the tower. Arrows going down on the giant archers as well as the Mega Minion, but we don't have anything to play. And look at the Mega Minion. It barely locks onto the tower before our Lumberjack, and that means that Mega Minion is going to take the tower out. Just a game of pixels, and that means that tower is going to go down, and now we have to take out that right-hand tower. That's not where we want to be. We're going to have to use our rockets because we literally have no other way to get to the tower consistently. So we're going to have to cycle back to our rocket as well as defend whatever push he has going on, which is going to turn to be a pretty difficult task to do. So let's go ahead and get ready by playing some Fire Spirits on defense. I can't play my Musketeer right now. Tornadoing everything in the center as well as using the arrows, cycling back to the rocket, and there goes the rocket, but he's got another giant. This is ridiculous. There's no way I'm going to be able to defend against this push. I've got a Tombstone going down. I've got my Fire Spirits, but all in all, this one is over. Cryface goes out. And that's going to be the end of the game against Lord Pereira. So we put up our best fight, but unfortunately, it's really hard to get stuff to the tower using this deck. So we're going to lose 2-1 right there. But all in all, not too shabby to make it to overtime. And let's go ahead and hop into one more battle and see if we can pick up a W. Now, let's face off against Maypom 502. No one revealing what they're going to do just yet. In fact, I'll just drop my 3 Musketeers first, let those bad girls split up, and see what my opponent's going to play. And there's the Barbarian Hut. The Barbarian Hut gonna be okay, I guess, against this deck. I don't really know. We do have a lot of spells, so that's gonna work out pretty decently well for us. We can rocket down the Barbarian Hut if we really want to, but let's go for a Musketeer plus Elite Barbarian push, and the Musketeer is actually gonna take tower aggro first, which is a little bit annoying, but all in all, not too terrible. As the Elite Barbarians cut down the furnace, they're gonna go ahead and attack the tower as well, and we're gonna get some pretty decent value out of those Elite Barbarians. They've actually been nice in these last 3 battles, at least in the first one and this one right here. And now that that tower is down to 1600, I'm going to focus on that right-hand side of the map, and let's see if we can actually get that tower down before we get into a double elixir. Now, Tombstone's going to drop, and I'm assuming he's going to play his Barbarian Hut again as these skeletons start funneling through. There's the archers, though, and I don't have something great to play right now, so instead of wasting elixir, I'm just going to drop the tornado. I still think I wasted 1 elixir right there, but I'm going to tornado those archers just to get some damage. All in all, I should have played my arrows instead, because I would have got the tower damage, and now I'm just going to have to arrow there. I played 6 elixir for those 3 elixir archers, guys. That's just one of the things you have to deal with when you're playing this deck, and now he's going to have an elixir advantage, but all in all, not too bad. And let's go ahead and get our Musketeers going. Now, Fireball again from him means that the right-hand Musketeers aren't going to be able to do too much. So I'll drop a Lumberjack on the left to help out against these Barbarians. Musketeer will get a shot off against the tower, as well as he's going to have to place Ice Golem, which really is going to do almost nothing. And as that Mega Minion drops, here goes the Musketeer, even outside of the Rage Radius. The Musketeer doing work right now, and she's actually going to get that Archer all the way down to half. It would have been really nice nice if she killed it, but I'm not going to complain about that. Let's play a tombstone on defense against these barbarians, and he is setting up with the huts. It's obvious what type of playstyle this guy's playing. He is a dirty hut spammer, so we're going to have to try our best to take care of that. We do have a lot of spells, but we don't want to use a rocket against his like troops by themselves, unless he places something against the tower. So, oh, look at that prediction rocket right there. Just like I said, we're going to rocket the tower as well as predicting something in front of it, since the elite barbarian was running down the lane. And guess what he drops? He drops his barbarian hut. This most expensive card in his deck is going to get countered by that rocket right there. And now we can just drop our lumberjack to protect the left-hand side. Barbarians are going to be on the right. I'll use the 3 musketeers to split those up, and I think we're only like 2 rockets away from winning, or maybe a rocket and like 2 rockets and arrows or something like that. But now that we got the musketeers, let's drop our elite barbarians. They're going to start crushing through those barbarians in this barbarian hut. Tornado's going to go down to suck everything into the center. It's actually going to suck the fire spirits towards the elite barbarians. But take a look, his tower is getting lower. I'm just going to drop the rocket because I know I have an elixir advantage right now. That tower is going to go down to 440. Musketeers trying to lock on, but they're going to lock on to the furnace instead. So let's just cycle back to our rocket and end this game. I know he has a hog rider, so I'm not going to get crazy. I'll drop my tombstone on defense. I'll drop the lumberjack to help out as well and chop him down to pieces. And now that the lumberjack's switching sides, a little bit of a rage spell, but honestly not going to do too much. And getting ready to play the 3 musketeers, we don't even need it. Let's just drop our arrows in our rocket, and that's going to end the game. Woo! 2 wins out of 3 using this insane, terribly bad super magical chess deck. Not too bad at all for me, and I will definitely take that. So 1 crown to 0, 55 cards and 1,000 gold. Guys, try it out sometime if you want to try this deck and see if you can get any wins. If you can get wins using this deck, like I said in a previous video, it's sort of like if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And if you guys want to see me do more super magical challenges, let me know in the comments section below. That's going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.